Hi everyone, Maria from Gattis here. You might be wondering what I'm doing. Well, I'm sitting in my garden because we're in lockdown. But I'm not bored. No, I've come up with a bit of a mad idea and I hope you like it. So let's have a look at what I've got in front of me. Need to change this camera around. Hang on a moment. Okay. If you can hear screaming in the background, it's my kids. So in front of me, I have a milk bottle carton, a variety of different colouring in things. So I've got some gel pens, some felt tip style pens, and a paint pen, as well as some watercolours. I have some scissors, and we've come up with rather a fun little crafting idea for you. Okay, to start with, I'm going to take some scrap pieces of plastic milk bottle, and I'm going to apply some of the different colouring in things we've got and just test how well they adhere once dried to the plastic. Is it going to work? Is it going to come off? Are we going to get in a mess? I don't know. I shall stop the video, apply some and give it a test. Okay, so we've tried the different paint things. That was some watercolour, which I think black worked okay. But it's been drying for about 15 minutes now, and you can still see it's kind of gone drippy. So I think maybe poster paint would work a bit better if it's quite dry, perhaps, but I haven't got any, so I can't try that. And I think acrylics just might be a bit too thick, so I don't know. Other things we've tried, so here are some more watercolours. So where's my finger? There, that's watercolour. Those are the gel pens, rubbish. And the different kind of, so those were the regular sort of felt tip pen, and the ones below there were the Sharpie pens. Other pens are available, of course. And at the bottom, this one was the Posca paint pen, and there are other varieties of those as well. So to try out to see how well they stick to the plastic, I have some tissue, and we will do, if I'm trying to fold it with one hand, we'll do the press test. So press down on it, you can see there's some of the paint coming through straight away. Okay, there we go. So what's come through is the regular pens, the regular felt tips haven't completely dried, but there's still colour on the plastic, so I think that would work okay if you don't mind getting too messy. The Sharpies have worked really quite well. There's no colour transference on the tissue at all, so obviously they're a pretty good option. And the paint pen has worked absolutely brilliantly. And if we hold it up to the light, I think possibly out of all of them, the Sharpie style pen gives you the best results. Okay, so what is this mad crazy idea, you might be asking, that involves a milk bottle and some pens or other colouring devices? Well, some of you may remember that in our most recent Lantern Parade there was rather a large beastie that's normally grey with a rather large trunk. Yes, that's right, an elephant. So this got us to thinking how we could maybe carry on doing our Lantern Parade workshops during the lockdown thing. And what could we do? And then we thought, oh, that looks a bit like an elephant. And you know what? Have you seen those pictures and things about putting a rainbow in the front of your window, your front windows, or wherever, to sort of say thank you and support for all the NHS and all the people out there who are delivering food, all the volunteers, all the people who are keeping the country ticking over and keeping those of us who are isolating safe and fed. Well, this kind of got us to thinking, well, do you know what? We could have rainbow elephants. We could put rainbow elephants in our front windows. What a great way to say, we're never going to forget you. We're always going to remember. You are the important people. So, that's what we're going to do today. And here, in true Blue Peter style, is one I made earlier. Here he is. Fred the elephant. He's even got a little tail on the back, look. And his ears flap. He's a very happy elephant. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through step-by-step instruction on how to make a Fred the elephant who never forgets and would like to say thank you to all the wonderful people out there keeping us safe and fed and healthy. Okay, so the first thing I've done is I've put a dotted line where I want to cut down the milk bottle. I reckon this would work with any size milk bottle, and then you could have big mummy elephants and daddy elephants and little baby elephants. That would be cute. Unfortunately, we tend to drink the same amount of milk. Ugh, I don't drink it, but Bill and the kids do. And we tend to use the same size bottles all the time, so we've only got these to play with. But I can't wait to see your efforts with different size bottles. Anyway, so I've put a dotted line where I want to cut trunk and cut the milk bottle down to size. I don't really want a ginormously long-legged elephant because I think that would look a bit daft, but we could try. Entirely up to you. And then I've put some semicircles on to where I want to make the legs. So I'm going to cut those out as whole pieces. So there's sort of the rear view side, and I've also done the other side. So I shall cut those and see what we end up with. Okay, after I started cutting, I realised I had missed a bit off. So you also need a line across there to remove the bottom part of the handle so we can make the trunk. And I missed that off. So, right, back to snipping. Okay, we've finished the cutting out, and here we have it. One elephant template. Now, I use these bits of plastic left over and cut them into, they're all different shapes. And I'll take the two biggest ones. Sorry, I'll actually focus on what I'm doing. I'm going to take the two biggest ones, and what I'm going to do is cut them into the same shape, and then using good old sellotape, we shall stick the ears on so that they flap. And I've figured out a little technique for doing this, which I shall show you in a minute. First, we stick on a piece of sellotape like that, and then I'm going to make little cuts with the scissors down the sides, either side, just to the bottom, which will enable the ear to flap around when I stick the sellotape on. If you have a look at this one, you can see the sellotape's on the back, but there's no sellotape on the front, and that's what makes it flap. Hey presto, two flappy ears. Hello. What I find a bit odd is that both of them seem to be sort of flapping in opposite directions, and my Blue Peter one seems to be doing the same. Not quite sure how that's happened. Must be something to do with my sticking technique. Anyway, now all that's left to really do is actually draw on some eyes, maybe a mouth, and decorate him however you want to. I did quite enjoy putting a little tail on the back of this one. I think it just adds a bit of character, but I would recommend doing that after you've coloured it in. The colouring in can take quite some time and can get a little bit messy, especially if you've got pens that aren't quite fully drying onto the plastic. Actually, talking of drying onto the plastic, let's have a look at our earlier experiment. Shall we try another test on it? So here I've got another fresh piece of tissue, and let's see if that, excuse my mucky fingernails, been doing lots of gardening. Right, okay, so look at that. So that again is the sort of bog standard felt tip pen is still transferring colour. Although it is still staining the plastic quite well, it is still transferring colour into the tissue. So that would transfer onto your hands and potentially make quite a mess. If you're up for that, go for it. If not, you know, if you've got a Sharpie style pen, I didn't get into too much of a mess when I did Old Fred here. I had a little bit yellow on my fingers, but that was about all. So it's really up to you. We encourage you to experiment and try different things and feed back to us what you've discovered, because it's all about learning together, isn't it? So we'd really encourage your videos and show us how you've done it. That would be really great. Anyway, I'm going to pause this now and colour mine in and show you what we finish up with. Okay, I'm Anna. I've just realised that I've been talking you through the steps but not actually showing me doing them, and I've realised that I can stick my phone on front camera and prop it up and you can actually maybe see some of what I'm doing. So I'm now starting to colour in the elephant, and I've realised if I take the lid off it and put it to one side, it actually gives me something to hold on to while I'm colouring in. So here I am, I'm going for a bit of a rainbow effect. So you can see it's just a case of colouring it in. You could do anything you like, you could have any kind of pattern. I'm going for rainbows because we're talking about saying thank you to the NHS and all the wonderful people who were looking after us during this crisis. And wouldn't it be great if we could have everybody's front windows filled with rainbow elephants who are never going to forget. I like that. Right, so there's blue. Remember to put the lids on your pens properly. Right, and I think I'm just going to go for sort of stripy rainbow kind of look. Now what you could do with this video is I'm going to cobble it together with a bit of probably rubbish editing, but you could use the bad edits as pause points so that you can use it as an instructional video and pause during each step of your elephant creation. Oh, sorry, I'm getting engrossed in colouring in here. I'm kind of wishing that I'd coloured the ears in before I stuck them on. I think that would have been a lot easier. So this is kind of learning as we go. I suggest you try that. And also with these pens, try not to get them crossing over, because you do I don't know if you can really see it, but there I've kind of hit into the blue a bit, and it's kind of made the orange a bit squidgy and a bit muddy. So word of warning, just try and keep those colours separate. You notice I keep going quiet and stop talking. You're probably enjoying that. This is quite therapeutic. I'm finding this quite calming. But I'm also thinking about how we're going to light them up. Because we're talking lanterns, if you remember Lanter Parade. So these are going to look quite nice with some sort of light inside. So what we'll do later is you can watch me colour the rest of this in, and I'll maybe speed up the video. But we'll experiment with different ways of lighting them later. End of the trunk is useful for keeping your pinky, just to give you a bit of stability. Finding that quite useful. This is not very neat. You can of course do whatever design you like. This is really quite scrappy, but the overall effect I think is quite cute. I need some eyes and a mouth, but we'll get there. I'm getting tired because I'm getting scrappier. It's been a long day. I'm not digging today. Running out of space on this here. Ta-da! Here we have Sharon, the Remember Elephant. With her flappy ears and her rainbow body and purple hearts. She says, "Thank you everybody for keeping us safe. I will not forget." Okay, we need to figure out how we're going to light up Fred and Sharon. And here we are. I've been up in the loft and found some of the Christmas fairy lights, some little LED ones that we bought last Christmas. And I've literally just made a hole in the, get that to focus. That's better, is that better? Made a hole in the top of the cap and threaded them through. Get that focusing again. Oh, that's not very good, is it? Yeah, that's better. I think they look rather fabulous. I'll make a whole string of them and hang them in my front window. Show our support and love, and we will not forget all the wonderful people who have supported us through this crisis.